Hello, this is Bob Mangroo, and today's topic is forgetting the negative. Notice how easy it is to forget a positive instead of a negative. When people do good things for us, we appreciate it, but we can also forget it or not give it nearly as much attention as we might give a negative person. Just like, for example, you can do something correct 1,000 times, and if you make one mistake, you forget all of your successes and you focus on that one mistake. So you are at the stage where forgetting the positive is easier to do than forgetting the negative. Similarly, you may have wonderful people in your life, and one person comes along and upsets you, and that now becomes your focus. And that negative focus can stay with you for many years. When a negative person treats you badly, it is harder to let go of such memories and experiences. And of course, I'm not referring to extreme cases such as abuse or kidnapping or torture or war-torn situations. Such experiences are extremely traumatic and require professional help to deal with such memories. But what I am speaking of is the everyday negativity, like anxiousness, the anger, the frustrations you experience on a regular basis from the people around you. Whether it's a relationship breakup, an argument, a difficult coworker, or someone betraying or constantly condemning you. Negative people and their actions leave a leftover bitterness that sticks to you, and it's difficult to shake it off from your system. So you might call your friends or therapist to talk. Perhaps you might even visit your doctor for medication. You might smoke more, booze it up, eat horribly, and just do about anything you can to suppress the painful emotion, whether that emotion is anger, hurt, or rejection. The negativity has infiltrated your thoughts, your emotions, and your physical well-being, and it has destroyed your overall sense of self. You think, you breathe, you walk with that negative person in your mind all day and all night long, and yet that negative person is probably not even thinking about you at all. Most people do not give nearly the amount of attention to a person who treats them well as to the ones who treat them badly. And why do you suppose that is? Again, your ability to forget a negative is an indicator as to the level of your personal growth and development. It indicates your stage of personal self-insight and awareness. And as you grow higher in consciousness, self-insight, and spiritual wisdom, you will pleasantly discover that the opposite happens. You will no longer allow negative people and their influences to take up space in your mind. And what is this higher consciousness that I speak about? It is the systematic process of reducing and eliminating your own internal negative emotions such as anger, hate, frustrations, anxiousness, stress, bitterness, and fear. Furthermore, it's a shift in your reactions and responses to the world around you. It is the ability to transcend a negative and see things from a completely new point of view. So as you do this, something wonderful happens within you. There's a new awakening that emerges in your consciousness, and negativity then does not have the same influence over you as it used to. To explain my point even further, imagine a child that is afraid to sleep in the dark. The darkness frightens a child. But as the child grows and matures, the child loses that fear of darkness. So being afraid of the dark, the child is at an earlier or lower stage of his or her development. But as the child grows and advances in his or her development and becomes an adult, and as an adult now we're no longer afraid to sleep in the dark. So as an adult, we now look at the darkness from a different point of view. Our minds have literally outgrown the fear of darkness. And we are now at a higher and more advanced way of thinking and responding to the darkness. So the darkness that used to once scare us no longer is a threat. And it's not because we have suddenly become all strong, all powerful. It's merely because we have advanced in our mental growth and new realizations have happened for us. And this is the self-insight that I speak about. So with this new way of thinking, you end up far too wise to allow negativity to control you. And it's not about strength and power. Rather, it's about wisdom and realization. So no one can harm or reject you psychologically, because you will have no need to influence or seek approval from anyone. You will be at peace with yourself and others, even if they're not at peace with you. But this can only be achieved by a higher spiritual mind, and not the human logic, conditioned, or conceptual mind. It is done through consciousness and awareness, and not by means of mere, quote, thinking alone. In other words, trying to, quote, think your way towards not being upset will not get you very far. However, when your heart opens to a divine force, or higher energies, something powerful happens within you. As you grow spiritually, you will one day realize that you are no longer tossed around and emotionally wounded by negative people. Their psychological whips are no longer painful, but rather weak and lifeless. By living through divine consciousness, you naturally become drawn to and pay more attention to the positive, to the valuable, and to the worthy experiences of life, instead of the negative. Just like, for example, when you make a mistake, you no longer give that one mistake all the attention, but now you continue to remember and focus on the thousands of successes you have already achieved. This is higher thinking, and this is divine thinking. Your mind now functions on a newer and higher level, which is opposite of the old and lower level. And when you are in your insecurities, it is harder to shake off the negative. But as you grow and evolve in consciousness, you pleasantly discover that you don't have to try and let go of negativity anymore, because you are not holding on to it to begin with. So there's nothing to let go. But people make the mistake of holding on to negative people, holding on to negative memories, and holding on to negative emotions. And now they have put themselves into a position of now having to let go of all of that. But if you don't touch or grab the negative in the first place, there'll be nothing to let go of. There will be no problem, and you will be okay. So by evolving and growing in your personal growth and personal advancement, you also realize that every moment of your life is far too incredible and far too precious to waste on people that have or still continue to cause you problems. So your wisdom of what is valuable and appropriate to you now becomes your guide. And this also becomes your joy. Thank you.